suit your own care. I went there to report the smell in Bethlehem on Saturday, and it closed the library down. We ran verification with the smell in the dump on Saturday.
The microphones also will not work should the electricity go out. So, I don't know. It looks like people are leaving. Okay, we have John who's going to make a final comment, it appears.
I guess so. I'd like to say thank you to all of you who come from Hampshire very far away. I'm sure it costs a lot to drive. It cost me $50 to drive up to Pennsylvania today. I'm from Bethlehem, and a little over 20 years ago when I was born, my parents were fighting this. Since then, kind of the expansions. They were worried about the same kind of problems that we're all, I think, here worried about today. I think everyone's worried about them. I don't think you guys aren't worried about them. And I'd really like to blame you guys. I'd like to say, you guys, these are the bad people right here, But I know that it's not like that. And I guess I think with all of the questions and answers that have gone on tonight, I know I'm young, maybe I'm being naive, but I don't feel like we've really had very good answers. And it would be great if we could have a discussion. Because I study ecology. I just graduated. And trash is a huge problem, not only for us. I'm thinking about drinking water, which is the first thing I think about. The Amnesty, which I used to swim in as a child. Thinking that that would be clean enough to swim in 20 years with my kids' generation really upsets me. But also, I know about aquatic invertebrates, and I know the science, and I know the toxins that we don't know about, that we can't know about, that could be in that landfill, and I'm sure there are. And I know about VOCs and what they do with those aquatic invertebrates. And if they can't live, then fish can't eat them. And if fish can't eat them, then we're saying goodbye to the reason why people come to New Hampshire in the first place, why people come to the White Mountains. The water that comes off of Mount Washington is going to be polluted. I mean, this is a problem. And I don't think that any of you are, don't want to deny that. But I really certainly question in 100 years when NCES is gone and you're going to be dead and I'll be dead, we'll all be dead. Are we going to have the funding? Are we going to have the infrastructure in this that we have today with all this oil? Are we going to have the opportunities with all the energy, all the resources that we have? Are we going to be able to clean that water? And if we can, I mean, that woman, she's talking about those people who died. Yeah. I mean, there's no science. I mean, it'd be hard to do the science behind that. I mean, no one's found what causes cancer. But I mean, I know the science behind animals in the water, and I know about all of this stuff. And if the river's dead, then we're not going to last. I mean, and that goes to the ocean. And I mean, what we're dealing with is a huge problem. And I don't think, sorry, now I'm just being long-winded, but I mean, it's just, I feel like, who's thinking about the solutions to this problem? We have a problem. Of course, if NCES gets this burned, I think it's your fault. I do. It's your fault. And I think a lot of people are going to die. I think we're seriously risking a lot. Now that might be already happening. That might already happen. But the truth is, if we don't clean the water, it's not going to clean itself. I mean, the environment is very flexible. The environment can work through a lot of problems. And I have faith that we can. But I think we're avoiding, and this whole thing here today is like the town versus a company, and I just don't see, I mean, everyone is affected by this. And For my senior project at the school that I just graduated from, I worked on what I think is the solution, which is stop having trash. We got to be careful with these things. These are our resources. You know, we don't want leaded glass going to landfill. We don't want mercury to. But how can we expect to educate everyone in our town to not throw away those new energy efficient bulbs? They're not going to be able to afford those ones. I'm sorry if I've been going on for too long, and I'm very grateful that you came up here, and especially grateful that people are still coming after 20-some years to actually do something. I think everyone feels helpless, and I'm by far the youngest person here, and I'll tell you, I feel pretty helpless, and I guess I'll just ask. And I don't want the answers I was getting earlier. I want to hear somebody just address whether you believe the Department of Environmental Services has the resources. Do you have the time? Do you have the money? Do you have the staff? Do you have what it takes to do your job? You have an important job, and it's, you know, I'm just wondering if you have that science and time to address these pressing issues that will affect all of the state.
Thank you.
I'll answer your last question by saying that we are going to put all the resources that we need to make a responsible decision on this application. And I want to tell you that when I walked behind the table here, it wasn't because I was subservient to the applicant, it was because most of the time I was answering questions to folks and I was trying to get closer to them. We are an independent organization. We don't answer to applicants. We don't answer to specialists. We answer to the people of the state. We have a responsibility to treat everybody fairly and equitably, and we are putting lots of resources into reviewing this permit. And we will continue to do that until we make a responsible decision on it. And I would close by saying that I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I want to emphasize that we have not prejudged this application. We are going to be taking comment to what amounts to over the next 90 days. We've got 60 days between now and the public hearing, and another 30 days of comment period following the public hearing. So there's ample time for folks to participate either verbally in a hearing, or as you did tonight, or by writing to us at any time, really, over the next 90 days, and we encourage people to do that.
Can I ask one very quickly? The other thing is that I do think that right now it is in the New Hampshire public good. I mean, I think if you were to approve this, that, I mean, we'd be facing much higher costs as a state. I mean, we need to put our trash somewhere. And I'm wondering if there's anyone looking into solutions, or if there's any funding for ideas of really getting transfer stations suitable for proper recycling. I mean, to the point where we can see compost out of the trash, we can see plastics out of the trash, we can see all this stuff out.
We're working on a broad variety of initiatives to really focus on reduction of waste generation, to focus on reuse and recycling. And I know I saw you at a number of the hearings on House Bill 1429, and it was terrific that you were there. And if you were there, and I know you heard a lot of discussion about those issues. And during the same session of the legislature, you may not have been at those hearings, but there were meetings of a committee that the House Environment and Agriculture, a subcommittee that they set up to look at solid waste issues. And we're working very hard over the next several months to provide input to them and to the Senate Environment Committee on those very issues. Those are very important to us. It's really a critical part of what we do when it comes to looking at the long view on solid waste management in the state. And I can assure you that those are issues that we're very interested in and are working diligently on.
If you need someone to work for it,
We'll keep in mind.